Today we're pitting long-handled microphones together. This is the Audio-Technica 8004 and this is the Sennheiser MD 46. Which one will work best for your interviews? We'll find out about that next. You know, a few months ago, I compared this Audio-Technica 8004L with the SM58 and AT2100 microphones for use in live interviews. Within hours, I got a comment on the YouTube channel from CapWKid asking, what about the Sennheiser MD 46 microphone? So I turned to Twitter, Sennheiser USA, and I said, hey, you know, should we do a comparison? They got back to me within 24 hours and they sent me the MD 46 long-handled microphone. Now these are two different types of microphones that you can use for getting interviews, capturing speeches, podium announcements, and more. Their longer handle helps in holding the microphone or getting into the presenter a little bit closer. As always, I review each microphone while taking you through the microphone steps. For my receiver, a lot of people have been asking about this. I use the Sony UWP V6 wireless camera microphone capsule, which is what I use to do any live event. So with that, and since this is hooked up, let's start with the 8004L from Audio-Technica. This is a dynamic microphone with an omnidirectional polar pattern. Basically, it means it'll pick up 360 degrees around the microphone. Like if you took a balloon, you just placed it right there, there it is. The bottom is actually closed off to capture less sound below the microphone, and the capsule up front is pretty small, so it'll catch anything up here. So if I talk like this, it's harder to hear than up here. Now, the 8004L is pressure sensitive, so wind noise shouldn't normally affect them unless, of course, you're in some sort of hurricane condition. They also help reduce plosives like P's and B's, pops that you get from other microphones. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. The frequency range of the 8004L is 80 Hz to 16,000 Hz. That means you can pick up a good bass voice as well as a soprano voice, so male, female, works pretty well for both microphones. The impedance of this microphone is 300 ohms, so it doesn't need any type of phantom power to work. The weight of the microphone is 315 grams, about 7.6 ounces. Now let's compare this to this one, the Sennheiser MD 46 long-handle microphone, still on an attenuation of 15. This microphone is a cardioid dynamic omnidirectional microphone. Cardioid is the Greek word for heart. Now think of it like placing an apple stem side into the microphone. This pattern allows the microphone to capture more of background sounds, but nothing underneath. It doesn't need that extra shielding. This microphone works better at a distance, so you don't have to shove the microphone in the person's face to get the best audio. And of course, it does handle plosives pretty well. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. The microphone frequency response is 40 Hz to 18,000 Hz, and its impedance is about 350 ohms. The weight of this microphone, 359.9 grams, or 12.7 ounces. And as a whole, this microphone also works well under different conditions, wind and noise. So we've seen both microphones, heard them through a standard setup, and we've seen all the specs. When we come back, we're going to show you all the pros and cons and test both of these microphones in a simulated crowd. All right, so since I have the Sennheiser already hooked up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate a crowd at about 96 decibels through the crowd noise, through the system. This room should be pretty loud here. Let me turn it up just a little bit more. We want full loudness to show you. We're going to set this microphone, like I said, we're using this Sony. We're going to set this to 0 attenuation, which means that it will not try to choose which sound is best. This is just the straight up sound of the Sennheiser. So you might be hearing a little bit more noise, the air conditioner and the squeaking of my chair a little bit more. Now we're going to turn on the crowd noise. It might get a little bit loud because I'm not doing any post-production on sound in this case. So let's turn it on. This is what you might hear inside of a conference, or if you're at a mall asking questions outside or anything like that. So it can get a lot louder than this, that's for sure. I've been in situations where I don't even hear my voice. This is at 0 attenuation. Now we're going to put some attenuation on the Sony to show you how it works with the MD46. On average, I put my microphones at about 15 attenuation. This helps. In this case, with the louder noise, I'd probably boost up the attenuation, so you're probably hearing a little bit more of the noise in this here. but you get the idea of this microphone doing this. Now I'm going to set it up to full attenuation, which is 21 on this microphone. The one thing about attenuation is the farther back you get, the harder it is to hear, of course. With the MD46, you're hearing my voice, and of course you're hearing this background noise, but you should be hearing my voice over this background noise. Now what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to the Audio-Technica 8004L. We're going to do the same test and go from there. All right, this is the Audio-Technica 8004L, and we are at 0 attenuation. You're hearing the crowd noise behind me. You might hear the fans or the air conditioner. We're going to set this up to normal attenuation. Once again, I'm at attenuation 15. The crowd noise is right behind me. This is what it sounds like inside of most conferences, especially after-hours conferences when there's free food and free alcohol. So this is what it sounds like. And then, of course, finally at attenuation 21. And here I'm talking, and I'm going to take the microphone a little bit farther away, and I'm going to bring it back so you can hear the differences between that, just like with that MD46. I really like the 8004L when I'm doing one-on-one interviews. In capturing audio, it definitely needs to be 12 inches to 18 inches from the source to get a good, competent sound. It's solid and looks great as a on-air microphone, and I can put my mic flag, a regular mic flag on, or I can do these stickers like I have right here. The MD46 captures a little bit more surface area, therefore I can have it a couple feet away and still get decent sound. The microphone is a little bit heavier, but not by much. Mic flags are a little bit tougher to place on this one, as the bottleneck design basically pushes the mic flag down, losing some of the surface space for your hand, which is why you want to have a long-handled microphone. This microphone is also a little bit longer than the Audio-Technica by only an inch, but you might need that in some cases to really get some good sound. Finally, let's look at the price of both of these microphones. The 8004L is around $100. The MD46, about $200. In all, both microphones work really well. I've tested them inside of conferences. Both do a great job in catching the audio that's needed. The MD46 works better if you're doing a 2 to 3 person interview, as you don't need to have the microphone so close to their mouth. The 8004L works really well, but the MD46 is a little bit more versatile and usable in some situations. So that's this review of the microphones, the 8004L versus the MD46. Cap W Kid, what do you think? Do you like this? Or which one are you more impressed with? Let me know. You guys also let me know as well, because we've got other microphones that we can still do reviews on, and I want to know what you're going to be using these microphones for so I can test those environments. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for listening. My name is Jeffrey Powers. We'll see you next time. Until then, you guys geek out and take care.